Suns take game one last night of the NBA Finals versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Paul had 32 points. He went off for the last three quarters. He didn't really do anything in the first quarter, but he definitely went off in the last three quarters. Giannis played. He wasn't expected to play, but he played, and he looked pretty good out there. He had 20 points and 17 rebounds. He still looked like he's a little rusty, but he might be all right. Shout out to Chris Paul. Shout out to CP3, man. Sports and Teams and Reams, we give people their flowers right here, right now today. We ain't trying to wait till they pass away or wait till they old and gray. We trying to give them that right now. CP3 been balling. Now, I've been one of those people who always said Allen Iverson was the best pound for pound. I think LeBron James actually even said that one time. But, man, at 6 feet tall, win, lose, draw in these finals, the fact that he finally made it, CP3 could possibly be the best pound for pound point guard we ever seen, yo. Like, he's 6 feet tall. I don't remember too many basketball like players that teams led by players that's that height that won a championship. So if he can pull this off, that's big. But even the fact that he getting it right now, I think that he he might have placed himself as the best point guard of all time because of just even if you throw in there Allen Iverson, who's a small point guard, and you know some of the other guys. Only other one I can think about that probably will compete with him is Jason Kidd, but I believe Chris Paul might have been a little bit better scorer back then. So that's the only edge, but it's the only person I would rival with. But I can't even say that because Jason Kidd was bigger. So right now it's just flower hour, bro. We giving him to Chris Paul right now. Win, lose, draw, bro. You win, lose, draw. The brother Chris Paul, aka CP3, best pound for pound point guard ever. Shout out to him. Was it Teams with Reams? Y'all already know how we do. So right now we gonna get into my opinion about this little. Well, I wouldn't say little, but the whole Rachel Nichols thing. That's what you probably didn't see during the NBA Finals game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. But long story short, Rachel Nichols, she lost her spot during in order to report and host during the pregame and post-game NBA Finals. You know, usually that, not usually, but for a while, for a couple times, Rachel Nichols been doing it now or whatever. Break it down for y'all out there. She was playing a reverse racism card. It was some audio of her complaining to, I forgot the guy's name, but it doesn't really matter right now. But it was some audio. Somebody basically set her up though. I know that. Like they set her up. They got audio. They set her up. They recorded her complaining about losing her spot to the lady Maria Taylor, who was black. Now, Maria Taylor she's mostly known. They say she's mostly known for college football analyst. She's a college football analyst. Now I think about it. Now I don't watch too much college football, but I watch a little bit. But I know her. Like as soon as I heard the name, I didn't remember her off the face. But as soon as they said the name, I instantly thought about her because I know her from the NBA. Her takes on NBA when they have her on Jalen and Jacoby, or they have her on SportsCenter or doing some of the games or whatever. Like, and honestly, she does very good takes. Like she gives insight into basketball very well. She actually was a really good volleyball player in school, Maria Taylor. So Rachel Nichols is pissed off that ESPN or whoever makes the calls at ESPN basically took her out the NBA Finals spotlight. They took Rachel Nichols out the NBA spotlight for Maria Taylor, who just started covering basketball, I believe, in 2000, NBA Pro Basketball. She just started covering NBA Pro Basketball in 2019. So Rachel Nichols is hating in the audio that somebody set her up in. They were recording her. She was talking, and the shit got out. She's basically complaining about reverse racism. She's basically complaining about reverse racism and how Maria Taylor is. She gave her credit for reporting in all sports and being a good commentator in all sports, but she hasn't done anything to cover the NBA Finals, and the NBA is giving her that spot almost as a pity spot because they've been getting a lot of slack lately because of the whole diversity for whatever reason. I guess because of George Floyd or whatever reason, now they want to like they want to hire more minorities in certain positions or whatever. This is what Rachel Nichols is telling the person. But somebody recorded a conversation and it got out. So she lost. She wasn't hosting the finals. She wasn't hosting the finals game. She won't be on that finals at all. She's still gonna be on ESP. She's still gonna be on ESPN and everything else. But they took her off the finals because of the controversy. Now, here's an audio of what she said right here. And then I'm going to get into my opinion about the whole situation and all. Because Steven Jackson had an opinion on it. He's just a walking fucking contradiction. I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But I just want you to hear what Rachel Nichols had to say when somebody secretly recorded her. So, you know, it's out there now. But that's why she had to apologize and everything else. Here you go.
Yours is selling reporter job for the NBA Finals. Because guess what that would go away for? For Maria to do the hosting. There you go. So, I have declined. I don't know what their next move is, but they are feeling pressure because of all of that. And I'm trying to figure out like how to just, my thing is that I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which by the way I myself know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just find it somewhere else.
This guy Steven Jackson, I don't know, they must have some good ass weed down there in Houston. Whatever the fuck Steven Jackson down there smoking that shit got him tripping. Cause he's just a walking fucking contradiction, bro. Like, I didn't like his stance on. First of all, Steven Jackson is a retired NBA player. We know Steven Jackson from he ran into the whole brawl in the Taj Mahal. He ran in the crowd when Ron Artest ran in the crowd and was fighting some of the fans. He was getting it or whatever. So since he's retired for the NBA, he's been kind of like a strong voice. Like him and Matt Barnes had started a podcast or whatever. And if some of y'all remember, he got into it with Kwame Brown for his statements on Kwame Brown. But it's so funny to me with this guy because he took all this pro-black shit and African American blah 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 yada yada yada. I don't want to say it like that, though, so dismissive, because I'm a black male. I care about the people and all of that, and I still fuck with Steven Jackson for the most part. But lately, he just been losing me. Like I said, I remember when everything happened with George Floyd, Steven Jackson came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? This to me when he kind of got on his. This to me when he got on his when he got on his wanting to change things to me, which is cool. But then he started losing me when he started talking about James Harden. And everyone who's been listening to this, y'all know I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan. Not so much a James Harden's fan, but I like James Harden. He's on my Brooklyn Nets, so I like him too. But fair is fair and right is wrong. We keep it real out here in sports. We keep it real on Sports and Teams and Reams. Y'all know that. So to everybody who's been listening to what he's been saying, what the fuck is he talking about? This is the same person who went in on James Harden because James Harden wanted to go to another team. Just wanted to go to another team after he'd been with Houston forever. Only was an MVP candidate the whole time he was there, damn near. Had them in the playoffs the whole time he was there, damn near. And for the most part, they were contenders. They never made it, but a couple times, they did good. But only thing he wanted to do was leave. And you question his whole character about the black movement because they had their culture. I'm gonna just let y'all hear this shit, and so y'all don't so y'all see where I'm coming from. Like, listen to this shit. Listen to Steven Jackson.
Then again, what type of dude is you? The Rockets finally get a young black coach. A young black coach get an opportunity, and you don't want to show up to camp. You don't want to play for him. How that look? And you wonder why every time a black coach get a job, they put him in a bullshit situation. Look what you doing. What a real one would do is go play for that black coach and make him look good and build with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, some real ones. But obviously you want to chase rappers around.
Okay, that was Steven Jackson. Now, Steven Jackson Steven Jackson, this the same Steven Jackson, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all hear what he said about Rachel Nichols. Now, Rachel Nichols is mad because she think they hired Maria Teller in order to appease their black audience and their minority audience because they feel like they've been discriminated against in certain jobs or whatever. So she feel like it's some reverse racism, almost as if like it's because she a woman and she white. Like Maria Taylor had no kind of like no reason to be over there above her, and she just feel fucked up about it. She did know she's being recorded, but she said it and it is out there now. They took her off the NBA Finals. So now you heard what Steven Jackson just said about fucking James Harden wanting to leave. Hear what he got to say about Rachel Nichols and why is she mad. Y'all already know why she mad now because she feel like it's reverse racism. But mind you, Steven Jackson is talking about black people and we need to see black people get in a better position almost no matter the cause. Long as they get there, we just need to see them there. We need to support them, whatever. Here's his support for Maria Teller.
Rachel did deserve that job. It's just plain and simple. I talked to Rachel, and I know a lot of things she was saying out of frustration because ESPN put her in a bad position, and they even put Maria in a position of trying to give Maria a sympathy job. They was trying to make themselves look good because all the Black Lives Matter and the George Floyd stuff was going on. So ESPN tried to make themselves look good by taking the job from Rachel that she had already had, that they'd already told her she had, that she deserved, and give it to Maria just to make themselves look good. It wasn't a genuine job they wanted to give Maria. It's ESPN is behind all this, bro. It's all their fault. You know what I'm saying? I can't blame Rachel. I love Rachel, and I'm going to stand behind her. I spoke to her, and I'm going to stand behind Maria, too. But ESPN, y'all some suckers. Y'all some suckers because y'all did this. Y'all tried to give Maria a job, and it wasn't genuine. And look what happened. Come on, man. It's all ESPN fault.
The most hypocritical, Yo, you just gotta chill out, man. Put the weed down like Kwame Brown told you before. You was a great enforcer in the NBA. You did a little bit of scoring. You know what I'm saying? You got an NBA title, I believe in all of that. But like, you don't speak for black people. You don't know what's going on for us down here. I don't know about like down in Houston or whatever. But you can't say what you said and then backtrack because you're talking about your friend. We all remember you being on the show with Rachel Nichols and Matt Barnes. So cut that shit out, Steven Jackson. Now, you looking real crazy out here in these streets, bro. I don't even know if you in the streets or you in the political parties or, you know, like what you doing? But that's my take on that. Steven Jackson, you're tripping. You talking out both sides of your lips. Get that shit together, man. If you're going to talk for the people, really talk for the people. Talking sports and teams with Reams. Yeah. I know Kevin Durant took a hard loss and he looked a little bit tired in that last game, but basically, when they were talking to Kevin Durant about his success and coming back from the torn Achilles and everything, is like, he ain't trying to hear that shit. He ain't trying to hear that shit. Like he's disappointed about the loss, but Kevin Durant did say that he's proud about the success and the overall just love that the Brooklyn Nets are getting because the Nets are traditionally they weren't getting no love in Jersey even where they were winning, but they had a little big success as far as profits and revenues since Kevin Durant and the guys returned. And that's what he's proud about. Also, he's also proud about the success with James Harden, and that's actually why that's some information I didn't know. Other people probably know it, but I didn't know it. But Kevin Durant actually was a part of the recruitment of James Harden. So, you know, that story would be probably a little bit more to look into as I think about it right now. But Kevin Durant did recruit James Harden, reported in USA Today. He's happy about everything. But him being in a good mood about right now, like where he stand, he's just still bummed out about losing in the semifinals rather than at least the finals. But he will be playing. He will be playing this week in Tokyo. So shout out to KD, still getting it in. Talk sports and teams with Reams. Yeah. On to some NFL now, man, and shout out to my boy Daniel Jones for New York Giants. Started quarterback of the New York Giants, and I just need y'all opinion on that. The fans, whoever listening, subscribe or whatever. What y'all think about Daniel Jones? Because I feel like everybody been saying I've been tripping or whatever I've been tripping about Daniel Jones, but I feel like Daniel Jones, the New York Giants got a lot of slack for drafting Daniel Jones with the number 6 overall pick in the NFL draft a few years back. And honestly, I don't think it's as bad as people were making it seem like to be at first. Like, I know it ain't a big deal now, but with the offensive weapons that he has around him right now, Daniel Jones came on the same class as Kyle Murray, Gardner Minshew, and Dwayne Haskins. And Daniel Jones led all rookies that year in touchdowns. So like he had a bad fumbling. He of course had a bad fumbling problem. But I believe if that can get fixed, overall he's just better than these other guys. Kyle Murray, Gardner Minshew, Dwayne Haskins. I just said those. I'm gonna say those names to you 3 more times. Kyle Murray, Gardner Minshew, and Dwayne Haskins. Take away fumbles out of that. Take away fumbles out of the equation, and you tell me which one of those quarterbacks are better than Daniel Jones. Talking sports and teams with Reams. Here. Now, like, who has the most improved coming back off injury to the NFL right now? Because there's 5 really big names. There's 5 really big names on offense that's coming back off injury. So here it go right now. My list of 5 players coming back off an injury in the NFL that has the most improved this year. The list is going from the least improved to most improved. At number 5, I'm going to go with Joe Burrows because the Bengals, they need help, man. They need help besides the Bengals need help besides just Joe Burrows. So I think he did pretty good last year. He got hurt. All thing he needs to prove this year is that he could just kind of like stay upright and continue what he did last year. And if the team pick up around him, I think he'll be fine. So I think Joe Burrow and Cincinnati Bengals fans, you guys have the less to worry about out of the big injury guys that's coming back this year. He's young. He'll be all right. He'll be just fine. At number 4, who has a little bit more to worry about, I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, he only has to be worried about, I believe, out of this list of these guys because he's a running back in the NFL, man, and he's aging a little bit. He's having a little bit more injuries. And honestly, the Panthers ain't been too great since Luke Kuechly retired. So he still has to kind of have to prove a little bit. At number 3, I'm gonna go with Saquon Barkley, my boy Saquon Barkley. Shout out to the New York Giants. He also has an injury history. His talent on the field is one thing, but I believe he just got to get it together, or I just believe he got to prove he can stay upright for a whole season, especially a season where it's 17 games. So I'm definitely gonna be on the watch out. I'm pretty sure all Giants fans will be on the watch out to see how he's gonna do as far as health wise this year. Other than that, he should be fine. But it is something to worry about moving forward for New York Giants fans. At number 2, Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, when he was on the field, same thing with Saquon Barkley, 2 former New York Giants. He just got to stay healthy, man. I think he proved he could be a good teammate when he was with the Browns or whatever. I don't believe that was a problem with Baker Mayfield. I think it was a problem with him a little bit, as far as him trying to force him the ball. But I believe he adjusted and Baker Mayfield started playing okay with him. But Odell Beckham, because of his checkered past before he started just new change of character in Cleveland, I believe that will hinder him along with his injury. So Odell Beckham fans, Cleveland Brown fans, you should hope for a big year out of Odell Beckham, or it's he has a lot to lose this year. And he definitely has he has a lot to gain this year, but he definitely has a lot to lose this year. So they need a big season. Odell Beckham needs a big season for sure. Number 1, numero uno. Who needs the best season? Who has the most pressure on him? Out of the top NFL skilled offensive players coming off injury this year, Jimmy G is definitely at number 1. Jimmy G is the number 1 with the most pressure. I mean, he probably got the most money. I know the exact numbers, but he definitely had injuries as well as these guys, but he don't have probably nearly half as many wins or didn't improve half as much as any of these guys. So Jimmy G has the most pressure on him. He needs to perform this well, or he might find his way out the NFL, or he probably should be on his way out the NFL. But at the most, he will be a backup quarterback if it don't go well for him this season. So Jimmy G, San Francisco 49ers fans, I know y'all got the young boy. San Francisco 49ers actually has Trey Lance waiting on Jimmy G's back. So as soon as he gets hurt or play fucked up, his ass is out of there, and he'll probably be a backup quarterback for the rest of his career, which we wouldn't be missing too much because honestly, we didn't see him play too much as a starter. So there it is. Talking sports teams with Reams, and I'm out.
The act like they don't need us. They do everything we do, they wanna be us. Phone them take it, they tryna tee up. He rather go and blow a bag instead of re-up. Going on that block when that going on. I won't worry about the other side when that's going on. And we don't aim with different, no answers what we on. The only time we'll be the case, we pull out camera phones. I used to draw little my name on the styrofoam. I had to teach the grown, right from wrong. Why the state had told the jury they tryna indict us all. The lawyers got them out for Davis, they better sign them all. I had a bad bitch off the ground, she told fans I brought up burger, I told her anything. I was round with guns in that Billy thing. We putting stickers on our drums, that's a city thing. I hate to be trying to switch the block up. I be with the killers who would change the roster. I'm from the party.